Good morning, grade 6. Welcome back to grade 6 mathematics class. Hope you all are doing great today. Let's learn about how to find out the area of closed figures today. So here you can see a few closed figures. You can see there is an outline to each of these shapes and some space is enclosed within this outline or within this boundary. So that space covered within the boundary of a closed figure, that's called its area. So what is area? The amount of the surface enclosed by a closed figure is called its area. And how do we measure area? See, area is measured in terms of square units. So let's learn more about area now. Here you have an example figure. See the blue square here? You can see the blue square is drawn on a square grid. We can find out the area enclosed by this square using this square grid. So in the square grid, you can see some smaller squares. So each of these small squares are of unit measurement. Each square has a unit side. Let it be 1 centimeter. So the area of each of these smaller squares will be equal to 1 square centimeter or 1 square unit in general. Now, how can we find out the area enclosed by this square? We just need to count the number of unit squares covered by the given shape. So, can you say how many squares are covered by this blue square here? Just count the number of unit squares. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 squares are covered by this square fully. So, we can say this square has an area of 9 square units. So, with the help of a square grid, we can find out the area enclosed by closed figures. So, in this case, the area enclosed by this square here is equal to 9 square units. So, here we just counted the number of squares which are covered in full by this given square. What if the given figure is a different shape like this one? Here in this case, not all the squares are covered fully by the given figure. So here you can see a rhombus. Now, some squares are covered only in half. You can see 4 squares are covered here fully. Now, each square has an area of 1 square centimeter. So, the area of the squares covered in full, it is equal to 4 square units. What about the case of squares which are covered only in half? So, in that case, you have to consider the area to be half square units. So, here, let's find out the area of this figure here. Now, you can see 4 squares are covered in full. So, the area of fully covered squares is equal to 4 square units. Now, how many squares are covered in half here? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 squares are covered only by half. So, the equivalent area in this case will be 8 times half or 1 by 2 of 8. So, the total area will be equal to the 4 square units plus half of the 8 squares which are covered only by half by the given figure. So, in this case, the area of the given figure will be equal to 4 plus 1 by 2 into 8, which is 4 plus 4, that is equal to 8 square unit. So, the equivalent area covered by this figure given here is equal to 8 square units. So, if each of this square is of 1 centimeter length or 1 centimeter side, then the area can be said as equal to 8 square centimeter or 8 centimeter square. So, when you are drawing a figure in a square grid, if a square is completely covered by the figure, you have to consider the area as 1 square unit, and if a square is covered only half, you have to take the area as half square unit, and if the figure covers more than half of a square, it has to be taken as 1 square unit. So, if a square is completely covered or covered by more than half, consider the area as 1 square unit. If it is half, you have to take it as half square unit. If it is covered less than half only, then you have to ignore that. So, this is how we can calculate the area of a given figure using a square grid. Now, the smaller the dimension of the square in the square grid, the more accurate will be the area of the given figure. So, I hope this concept is clear to you. So, this was an introduction to the area of closed figures. You may go through this topic, which is given from page number 223 of your textbook. Then you'll be ready to work out a few questions from your textbook. You have to work out the questions from exercise 15.2, and there is a try this exercise in page number 224. So, you work out these questions. Please do take a picture of your answers and send us through Microsoft Teams. So that's all for today, children. Let's meet in the next class with a new topic. Till then, bye.